in charity to the Brahmanas. Vasudeva then offered prayers to the Lord, addressing him as a supreme person, Parabrahman, the super soul, who is beyond duality and who is internally and externally all pervading. The Lord, the cause of all causes, is beyond material existence, although he is the creator of this material world. When he enters this world as a Paramatma, he is all pervading. Andantara sta paramam chayantara stam. Yet he is transcendently situated. For the creation, maintenance, and annihilation of this material world, the Lord appeared as a Gunavataras, Brahma, Vishnu, and Maheshwara. Thus, Vasudeva offered prayers full of meaning to the Supreme Personality of God. Devaki followed her husband by offering prayers describing the transcendental nature of the Lord. Fearing Kamsa and desiring, fearing Kamsa and desiring that the Lord not to be understood by atheists and materialistic non-devotees, she prayed that the Lord withdraw his transcendental form, four-armed form, and appear like an ordinary child with two hands.
The Lord reminded Vasudeva and Devaki of two other incarnations in which he had appeared as their son. He had appeared as Krishna and Vamanadeva, and now this was the third time he was appearing as the son of Devaki to fulfill their desire. The Lord then decided to leave the residence of Vasudeva and Devaki in the prison house of Kamsa, and at this very time, Yogamaya took birth as the daughter of Yashoda. By the arrangement of Yogamaya, Vasudeva and was able to leave the prison house and save the child from the hands of Kamsa. When Vasudeva brought Krishna to the house of Nanda Maharaj, he saw that by Yogamaya's arrangement, Yashoda, as well as everyone else, was deeply asleep. Thus, he exchanged the babies, taking Yogamaya from Yashoda's lap and placing Krishna there instead. Then Vasudeva returned to his own place, having taken Yogamaya as his daughter. He placed Yogamaya on Devaki's bed and prepared to be a prisoner as before. In Gokula, Yashoda could not understand whether she had given birth to a male or a female child.
Thereafter, at the auspicious time for the appearance of the Lord, the entire universe was surcharged with all the qualities of goodness, beauty, and peace. The constellation Rohini appeared, as did stars like Ashwini. The sun, the moon, and the other stars and planets were very peaceful. All directions appeared extremely pleasing, and the beautiful stars twinkled in the cloudless sky. Decorated with towns, villages, mines, and pasturing grounds, the earth seemed all auspicious. The rivers flowed with clear water, and the lakes and vast reservoirs, full of lilies and lotuses, were extraordinarily beautiful. In the trees and green plants, full of flower and leaf, pleasing to the eyes, birds like cuckoos and swarms of bees began chanting with sweet voice for the sake of demigod. The pure breeze began to blow, pleasing the pleasing the sense of touch and bearing the aroma of flowers. And when the Brahmanas, engaging in ritualistic ceremony, ignited their fires according to Vedic principles, the fires burned steadily, undisturbed by the breeze. Thus, when the birthless Lord Vishnu, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, was about to appear, the saint and Brahmanas, who had always been disturbed by the demons like Kamsa and his men, felt peace within the core of their heart, and kettle drums simultaneously vibrated from the upper planetary system.
The Kinnaras and Gandharvas began to sing auspicious songs. The Siddhas and Kailas offered auspicious prayers, and the Vidyadharis, along with the Apsaras, began to dance with the Krishna.
Dominance and great saintly persons
Demigod and great saintly persons showered flowers in the joyous moon, and clouds gathered in the sky, and then mighty thunder, making sounds like those of the ocean waves. Then the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vishnu, who is situated in the core of everyone's heart, appeared in the heart of Devaki in the dense darkness of the night, like the full moon rising in the eastern horizon, because Devaki was the same category as Krishna, as Shri Krishna.
Then, okay. So we are focusing on text 7 and 8. Mumurchun Mumuchurmunyo deva Sumnamasi mudanvitaha Mandam mandam jaladhara Jagadguruna sagaram Nishithe tamuddhudute Jayamane janardane Devakyam devarupanyam Vishnum Swarga Guhashayah Avirasid Yatha Prachyam Dishinduriv Pushkalah Riva Pushkalah.
Suman amsi muddan vitaha
Mandam jaladhara
Jagajuran sagaram
Nishite dama udbhude Jayamane janardane Devakyam devarupenyam
Vishnu Sarva Guhashaya
Vishnu Sarva Guhashaya
Avirashid Yatha
Pracham
Dishinduriva Pushkala
Nishinduriva Pushkala
Mumuchurmunayo Deva
Mumuchurmunayo Deva
Shumanam Shri Mudanvita
Sumanam Shri Mudanvita Mandam Jaladhara
Jagajur Anusagaram
Jagajuran Sagaram
Nisite tamo udbhute
Nishite Kama Udbhute
Jayamane Janardane
Jayamane Janardane Devakyam devarupenyam Vishnu Sarva Guhashaya Avirashaya Pracham Vishnu Pushkala.
Word by word, all together, please. Mumuchuha, showered. Munyo, all the great sages and saintly persons. Devaha, and the demigods. Sumanmasi, very beautiful and fragrant flowers. Muda anvitaha, being joyful in their attitude. Mandam, very mildly. Jaladhara, the clouds. Jagadguru, vibrated.
Following the vibrations of the sea waves. Nishite, late at night. Tamama udbhude,
Mane, on the appearance of Janardhane, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vishnu. In the womb of Devaki, Devarupanyam, who was in the same category as Supreme Personality of Godhead, Ananda Chinmay Rase Pratigha. Vishnu, Lord Vishnu, the Supreme Lord, Sarvaguhasyaha, who is situated in the core of everyone's heart, Avirasit, appeared, Yatha, as, Cham Dishi, in the east, Induviha, like the full moon, Pushkala, complete in every respect. Translation, we will read it together, please. The demigods and great saintly persons showered flowers in a joyful mood, and clouds gathered in the sky and very mildly thundered, making sounds like those of ocean waves. Then the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vishnu, who is situated in the core of everyone's heart, appeared from the heart of Devaki in the dense darkness of night, like the full moon rising on the eastern horizon, because Devaki was the same category as Krishna. Anybody want to read purport?
As stated
First, second, third.
As stated in Brahma Samhita 537,
Bhuto Govindamadipurusham Tamaham Bhajami.
this verse indicates that Krishna and his entourage are of the same spiritual potency, Ananda Chinmaya Rasa. Krishna's father, his mother, his friends, the cowherd boys and the cows are all the expansions of Krishna, as will be explained in the Brahma Vimohana Lila. When Brahma took away Krishna's associates to test the supremacy of Lord Krishna, the Lord expanded himself again in the forms of the many cowherd boys and cows, all of whom, as Brahma saw, were Vishnu Murtis. Devaki is also an expansion of Krishna, and therefore this verse says, Devakyam Devarupinyam Vishnu Sarva Guhasya. At the time of the Lord's appearance, the great sages and the demigods, being pleased, began to shower flowers. At the seashore, there was the sound of mild waves, and above the sea there were clouds in the sky which began to thunder very pleasantly.
When things were adjusted like this, Lord Vishnu, who is residing within the heart of every living entity, appeared in the darkness of night as the Supreme Personality of Godhead before Devaki, who appeared as one of the demigoddesses. The appearance of Lord Vishnu at that time could be compared to the rising of the full moon in the sky on the eastern horizon. The objection may be raised that since Lord Krishna appeared on the 8th day of the dawning moon, there could be no rising of the full moon. In answer to this, it may be said that Lord Krishna appeared in the dynasty which is in the hierarchy of the moon. Therefore, although the moon was incomplete on that night because of Lord's appearance in the dynasty, wherein the moon is himself the original person, the moon was in an overjoyous condition. So by the grace of Krishna, he could appear as a full moon. To welcome the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the waning moon became a full moon in jubilation. Instead of Deva Rupinyam, some texts of Srimad Bhagavatam clearly say Vishnu Rupinyam. In either case, the meaning is that Devaki has the same spiritual form as the Lord. The Lord is Satchidananda Vigraha, and Devaki is also Satchidananda Vigraha. Therefore, no one can find any fault in the way the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Satchidananda Vigraha, appeared from the womb of Devaki. Those who are not in full knowledge that the appearance and disappearance of the Lord are transcendental, Janma Karma Janma, are sometimes surprised that the Supreme Personality of Godhead can take birth as like an ordinary child. Actually, however, the Lord's birth is never ordinary. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is already situated within the core of everyone's heart as Antaryami, the Super Soul. Thus, because he was present in full potency in Devaki's heart, he was also able to appear outside her body.
One of the 12 great personalities, Bhishma Dev. Swayambhu Narad Sambhu Kumar Kapilo Muni Prahlad Janako Bhishma. In Srimad Bhagavatam 1942, Bhishma, a great authority to be followed by devotees, says that Supreme Personality of God is situated in the core of everyone's heart, just as the sun may be on everyone's head. Yet, although the sun may be on everyone's head of millions of people, this does not mean that the sun is variously situated. Similarly, because Supreme Personality of Godhead has inconceivable potencies, he can be within everyone's heart and yet not be situated variously. Ekadvam Anupashyata. Ishopnishad 7. The Lord is one, but he appears in everyone's heart by his inconceivable potency. Thus, although the Lord was within the heart of Devaki, he appeared as her child. According to Vishnu Puran, therefore, as quoted in Vaishnavo Toshni, the Lord appeared like the sun, Anugrahashaya. The Brahma Samhita confirms that Lord is situated in everyone's, even within the atom, Andantarastha Parmanu Tarastham. He is situated in Mathura, in Vaikuntha, and in core of the heart. Therefore, one should clearly understand that he did not live like an ordinary child in the heart or womb of Devaki, nor did he appear like an ordinary human child, although he seemed to do in order to bewilder asuras like Kamsa. The asuras wrongly think that Krishna took birth like an ordinary child and passed away from this world like an ordinary man. Such asuric conception are rejected by persons in knowledge of personality of Godhead, Supreme Personality of Godhead. Ajopi son avyayatma bhutanam ishvaro san. Bhagavad Gita 4.6. As stated in Bhagavad Gita, the Lord is Aja, unborn, and he is the supreme controller of everything. Nonetheless, he appeared as child of Devaki. This verse describes the inconceivable potency of the Lord, who appeared like full moon. Understanding the special significance of appearance of Supreme Godhead, one should never regard him as having taken birth like an ordinary child.
Yes. So Lord Krishna has taken birth, and it is very auspicious. I want to start with importance of Srimad Bhagavatam, because we read Bhagavatam and now everybody is here. We are encouraging everybody to speak Srimad Bhagavatam. It is very rare. It is very rare. Even I was reading somewhere, Lord Shiva is hankering and he cannot stop when he starts Bhagavatam. And everybody is sitting there and they are listening to Lord Shiva. So this is a very rare opportunity. I was talking to Vishesh Prabhu 2 or 3 days back, or I think to Monil Prabhu. Like, I was preparing for Bhagavatam class and I was like, it's so auspicious. 2-3 hours, you're only thinking of shlokas, you're only thinking of, okay, this. In 2 hours, you're thinking nothing, just about Srimad Bhagavatam. And when you know that this is a transcendental literature, then and it is very auspicious to even hear Bhagavatam. So what to say of preparing Bhagavatam? And this is called Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. This is called serving Bhagavatam. And giving it to others, oh, this is very rare. So you will all get opportunity. Whenever you will get opportunity, it's like somebody is serving you nectar. Like he told me, okay, you wanna speak Bhagavatam? Yes. I know something. I know nothing, but yes. There is no qualification. You just speak what is there. So it's like yes. Even though we know nothing, that's why Prabhupada knows that we know nothing. That's why we have purports, Bhaktivedanta purports, to help us. And yeah, this even preparation of Srimad Bhagavatam is very nectarian. So we should all. I would encourage everybody whenever they will have opportunity to speak Bhagavatam, to speak about Krishna, and this is about developing gratitude. Okay, when I will say, okay, Jeevadaya Prabhu, you speak about your mother. Like, oh yes, my mother, she gave me birth. She's so nice. This is about gratitude. And we are happy to speak. This is about, and we can only remember whatever acharyas, whatever Srila Prabhupada has done to us, and the gratitude that we develop, then we can very easily speak about Sri Krishna. We can very easily speak about Srimad Bhagavatam. It's like, okay, speak about your family members, speak about your friends. Yes, I can speak for hours for my friends. Why? I have love for them. I have gratitude for them. So develop gratitude over the time. Develop gratitude for Srimad Bhagavatam, for acharyas, for Srila Prabhupada purports, and churn. Whenever you read, churn it, think, contemplate on what you are reading. So then you will. Where I heard this example that as a cow eats and then it's in the stomach and then she sits, and then bit by bit, what do you call it? Ankalp.
So half digested matter comes to her
Come
mouth again.
to her
and
mouth.
she chews.
Yeah, then she chews it again. You read it, then okay. And now think. Whenever you're doing something, chew it again, churning and chewing it again. So this is the greatness of Srimad Bhagavatam. And the chapter where Krishna is appearing, we all have seen that all the demigods, sometimes they're bewildered for Shri Krishna's energies, but now they're okay. They're offering prayers to Shri Krishna that, oh, the Lord has appeared. And this is very important, that he appeared in four-handed forms, because it is very rare to see Krishna in two-handed form. In Bhagavad Gita, Srila Prabhupada is mentioning that although Arjuna said that please show me your universal form, he asked Krishna this to make world believe that he is the God. Otherwise, as a devotee, he had no interest in his universal form, in his Virat Roop, because two-handed form is very sweet. And here also, just to make sure that everybody knows that yes, he is God himself, and this is not a mundane affair. Especially here in Western world, when we introduce Krishna with the grace of Prabhupada, we introduce him as Supreme Personality of Godhead, not as a philosopher, not as something who was a great personality. Because Srila Prabhupada mentioned it, that he was very disturbed when he came here and he saw almost 700 translations of Bhagavad Gita. Everybody was reading different translations. Everybody was becoming, there was business Gita, psychological Gita, science Gita. Everybody was becoming scientists reading Bhagavad Gita. Everybody was becoming philosophers reading Bhagavad Gita. Everybody was becoming teachers reading Bhagavad Gita. But nobody was becoming devotees. There was no devotees. But when Prabhupada came, he made sure that Krishna is introduced as Supreme Personality of Godhead, but not as there was a great personality. So yes, and here also, it is very interesting in this verse that it is mentioned deliberately. First, it is mentioned Janardhane, the Supreme Personality of Godhead in his birth, so that no other misunderstanding can be there. In the verse itself, it is mentioned Janardhane, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And the second word that is mentioned is Dev Rupanyam, who was in the same category as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Anand Chinmay Rase Pratibhavita Biha. And Vishnu, Lord Vishnu, Supreme Lord. And the fourth one is Sarva Guha Svaya, who is situated in the core of everyone's heart. So this is not an ordinary person whom sometimes in Janmashtami we dress our children as Krishna, and not knowing the philosophy, not knowing the tattva, we sometimes disregard him as just an ordinary deva. And he says, no, in Bhagavad Gita, okay, translation, I will speak the translation. I cannot remember the shloka, where he says that the persons who have limited knowledge and who are in the modes of material nature, they go to demigods. But a person who knows who I am, they come to me. The very beautiful shloka. Come on. Yes, if you can search, go to demigod, yes. There's one word and I will know it. And yes, the four-handed form, whenever devotees don't desire four-handed form. And can you what is the shloka? Oh, it's not, okay. So devotees don't desire four-handed form. It is for the world that see, this is same Vishnu as Sri Krishna. And what Srila Prabhupada did is, he introduces Srimad Bhagavatam, in which Krishna is introduced from the first shloka. It is very rare. In Puranas, we see all the Puranas. That's why Srimad Bhagavatam is very rare. Huh?
Brahmanas
Yes. Yes. Kama is tesir hatagyana prapadanti anya devata. Kam, when they are deluded with calm, when they are deluded with lust, when they delude, not even just calm is not just lust, calm or desires. Anya bhilashita. Any desire that you have to satisfy your senses, that's kama. Kama is tesir hatagyana. Their mind is, or their gyan, their knowledge is, hat means, to beat or to, so it is not right. Their intelligence is deluded. So kama is tesir hatagana prapadanti anya devata. They go to other gods because they don't know that everything that they are sanctioning, it's coming from me. So here in this verse, the Supreme Personality, the birth of who sanctioned everything, it's we are witnessing the birth of Sri Krishna. And kama is tesir hatagana prapadanti anya devata tam niyamam asthaya prakritya niyatasvaya. Tam niyamam asthaya. Astha, what do you call it in English? Faith, yes. According to their own faith, tam niyam asthaya, according to their own nature, prakriti, tam niyamam asthaya, prakritya niyatasvaya. And they worship. If you have tamogun, we have three murtis, right? Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh. If you have tamogun, you will worship Lord Shiva. If you have rajogun, you will worship Brahma. If you have satogun, you will worship yes. And then comes Shuddha Sattva. Even Brahma is Satogun. And the first purport in the first thing that Prabhupada says is Brahma Samhita. We always quote Brahma because Brahma is known as the creator. And if creator is saying, I always, because where I am from Himachal, and that part of the world in India, in the north, there is a place called in the mountains. So they worship Brahma as a creator. And whenever I go there, I always quote, okay, your creator, see what he's saying. And it is very difficult to understand Krishna. Even Lord Brahma, we are made of, flesh, bones, all these things. And what Brahma is made of? Mind, intelligence. Can you believe he is made of intelligence and still he's like, I cannot know you. You're like, and he got bewildered. So we should not be bewildered as preachers when we see that they are not knowing Krishna. Can't they understand this Krishna, Supreme Personality of Godhead? He is everything. No, they cannot. Even Brahma cannot. And he was there offering prayers. He was everywhere. But now what happened? So yes, it is very rare. And yesterday also, I think it was in Srimad Bhagavatam class, that for the devotees, we should respect devotees because this is very rare, this opportunity. And to understand Krishna in the true form, with the grace of true devotees, it is very rare. So we should all respect the devotees because even Brahma is deluded. And we are trying to match that. And yes, and in the purport, he is mentioning, Srila Prabhupada is mentioning all the qualities of Krishna, non-dual, no duality. In Krishna's world or in Krishna's Leela, again, Bhagavad Gita, there is a verse in which he says, there is no need of moon, there is no need of sun. You remember that verse? Na tad bhasite suryo na shashanko na pavakaha yad gatva na nivartante tad dham paramam mama. You go to heaven, you have some pious activities, you will come back. You go to hell, your time is over, you will come back. But when you will come to me, na tad bhasite yad gatva na nivartante, you will never come back. This is the goal. To reach this word was invented by Srila Prabhupada, Supreme Personality of Godhead, back home, back to Godhead. These are new words. He was inventing new words from the dictionary. And Srila Prabhupada in this purport is mentioning that he is non-dual, no duality. Here, with our small minds, with our, Srila Prabhupada used to say teeny brains, not tiny, teeny brains, we cannot understand Krishna. So that's why we go to Vaishnavas. That's why we read with surrender, read with service mood. You come here, you do some service and you read. And you ask questions with a surrendered mood. So, non-dual. When you know about Uttara, right? She had a child in her womb, and when Brahmastra was thrown at her, she prayed to Lord. What she prayed? Pahi Pahi Mahayogin Dev 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 Dev. Worshipped by the lords. You are worshipped by the gods, even gods who people think are gods, who people think are the sanctioners. You are worshipped by them. Pahi Pahi Mahayogin Dev Dev Jagatpate Nanyam Tavadhavayam Pashye Yatra Mrityuh Parasparam. Parasparam. These where in this material world where there is duality, full of duality. And what is duality? Sadness and then happiness. Death and birth. Dual. But in spiritual world there is no duality. Susukham kartum avyayam. Even to that extent that even in the process of reaching the destination, this process itself is full. In Ishopanishad, the first shloka is, anybody remembers the first shloka? Punyam Purnamidam. Yes. Yes. Yes, Purna, he's complete, everything related to him is complete. A seed in a tree, when you eat a fruit, you have a seed, you sow it, again a tree will come. You will eat fruit, again even a seed coming from him is full. So this process of Krishna consciousness is itself full. When we are chanting, our goal is not to go somewhere, this is full. When we are chanting means this is the goal and this is the practice. This is so amazing in Krishna consciousness. We are worshipping Krishna. So that is the ultimate goal. We have reached it. This full. This okay. We're worshipping. There is some other needs. There is no need. This is full. Chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. You're already there. Just it's about clearing Cheto Darpan Marjanam. It's about clearing your heart and looking it with the clearer heart that yes, I'm already there. So duality. We also talked about in the introduction, Sri Prabhupada is talking about when Krishna was born, Vasudeva, he became fearless. We talked, Vishesh Prabhu gave a very beautiful class on becoming fearless. And when it will happen when Krishna will born in our hearts. We sing this every day, Divya Gyan Hriday Prakashito. When this Divya Gyan will automatically, self-realization, it is about realization, self-reading or self-listening, realization, when you will hear and when you will realize the knowledge. So, Vasudeva became fearless. When Krishna came, he was not in fear. He was pure love, pure goodness. And that's why you see the character of Vasudeva. He's so humble. He will not do anything like this, crossing the river, breaking the jails, but he became fearless. It is very important when we are in preaching mission. We should always remember this pastime of Krishna appearing. And there's a beautiful song of Mirabai. I'm not going to quote here because I'm not remembering. He's saying that, okay, she's saying, please appear in my heart. She's again and again saying, please appear in my heart. Why? Because all auspiciousness will come when you will appear in my heart, as they're seen in Vasudeva. And as we do preaching, this is a very important shloka for preaching purposes, because yes. Yes, and what is the time? Sorry. 8:16. Yes. Very auspiciousness, very auspicious. Krishna's birth. Our preaching, our endeavors to spread Krishna consciousness, it also depends on sadhana, our own sadhana. Because if by good chanting, remembering Krishna, doing all the chores of this house, of the temple. Then by doing everything, when Krishna will appear in our heart, then as Vasudeva went to share Krishna to others, then we will go and share Krishna to others. Then these doors, they will open automatically. Someone will say, okay, Prabhu, do you want to speak? Prabhu, do you want to lead this? Prabhu, do you want to do this? You don't have to say anything. Everything will come because they will see that, oh, Krishna has appeared in his heart. He is ready. You don't have to washing dishes, picking up stuff. You don't have to say anything. People will notice, yes, Krishna has finally appeared in his heart. He is ready. And Krishna will, who opened the doors? Krishna will open the doors. So don't worry about preaching. Just worry about your sadhana. And people will see the way you will speak, the way you will sing, oh, he's ready. Oh, Krishna has appeared. So it's all about appearance. And very auspicious. This appearance of Sri Krishna is very auspicious. Yesterday, I landed on a shloka from Canto 8 where Vamandev was appearing. And I think in this month, Vamandev appeared. And in that shloka, they were doing yajna. Maharaj, who was the Maharaj? Maharaj Bali was doing yajna. And then Vamandev entered. And Bali Maharaj was like, that was a very funny shloka because he was like, okay, yajna is done. Why? He's appeared. That's done. You don't, still, Krishna is here. For whom? Krishna has appeared. So he was like, okay, yajna is done. That's a very funny shloka. So auspicious. When Krishna appeared in Damodar Ashtakam, in Damodar Leela, I was hearing a very beautiful lecture in which the speaker, I think it was Amrendra Prabhu, he was speaking that when Mother Yashoda was churning and Krishna stopped him. He's like, why are you doing so much sadhana? I'm here now. Stop. I'm here. So it is very auspicious. When Krishna is here, all the material activities, sarva dharman parityajya, you leave all the, I'm here. That's the goal. We have to know the goal of life. If Krishna is here, yes, then Krishna seva. And slowly you detach from the world and you fully immerse yourself in serving Krishna. And similar thing will happen. One of the last points that I want to mention about this verse is, it is mentioned that everywhere it was auspiciousness, sky was beautiful, what was that? Beautiful. Mandam jaladhara. There's no need for the Krishna is appearing and they're talking about mandam jalandhara. There is a reason. There is a reason that everything is very beautiful. And this similar thing will happen when Krishna will appear in our heart, when we will sit to chant. That's why people are able to chant 32 rounds, 64 rounds. Why? Whenever they are chanting, everything is good. Everything is bright, so beautiful. Have you heard that song? Good Lord made them all. No? I was in Christian school. Yeah. So yes, that's why Srila Haridas Thakur, because as soon as they started to chant, oh yes, everything is good. Why? Lord is appearing. That's the power of pure name, holy name. So, let me see. Yes, chanting of the holy name. That's how we can experience Krishna as Vasudeva. How we can, very difficult, nothing impossible for Krishna. He's Durgat Ghatan Vidhatri, but very difficult to create this scene again. You will be there as Vasudeva and Krishna will appear. But how to recreate this scene? We can recreate this scene when we chant. Exactly like this. Exactly like Vasudeva was feeling, Devaki was feeling. We can create every Leela when we chant. This is the power of chanting. This is the power of chanting the pure name. With this, I would like to end with a quote of, all these things will appear when we chant holy name. Krishna will appear in our heart as it appeared in Vasudeva's heart. And this holy name is not an ordinary thing. Very, very auspicious. And by the time we do all the activities, all our chores, lifting things, doing things, we will realize this slowly. And there is a shloka in Srimad Bhagavatam or in Chaitanya Charitamrita which states, कोटि अश्वमेध एक कृष्ण नाम समा एक है से पाषंडी डंडे तारयमा. If they are comparing Koti Ashwamedh was very, you have to invite everyone from the world, and they were like billion, if you will calculate, not even like millions and millions of dollars was required to do Ashwamedh Yagya. So Koti Ashwamedh, these crores, they're like 1 koti, 2 koti, crores and crores of Ashwamedh Yagya, Ek Krishna Naam Sama is equal to one name of Krishna. Ek hai se pashandi. If he says this, he's foolish. He's a pretender. Dande tarayama. And Yamraj will beat him with sticks. So this is very beautiful shloka. And Yamraj did in Ajamil pastimes. When they reached, the Yamdutas, they reached there, Yamraj almost beat them. Like he was chanting the names. Why you went there? So this is the glories of holy name. Whenever we chant holy name, we can recreate this, everything in our heart. With this, thank you so much. Any corrections? Any questions? Yes, Prabhu.
Thank you, Prabhu. It was a really useful lecture, especially since you mentioned focusing on sadhana. It was really nice. However, I have one question. I think I've heard a lot of devotees quoting Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj on this, and I think there are instructions by Rupa Goswami as well that if we are sitting, we should not force ourselves to think about leelas and all the beautiful pastime. It should come naturally, like with the time. So just wanted if you can say a little more on that.
Yes, it will. What was that shloka? Yes, it will appear. That's why word appearance is used. You see, you're doing nothing. See, this pen appeared. You're not pen force. So appearance, Leela, Gun, Naam, Roop, Gun, Leela. They will appear. Yes, this. Yeah, you know this shloka, right? Swarat. What's this shloka? Swayam Spurid, yes. When Vaishika Prabhu was here, he quoted this verses so many times. Why? Swayam, by its own. It will by its own. But you do service. Sevan Mukhi Jivado. Start with the tongue. By its own. Surad. It will appear. It will like. I don't know how to translate Surad. Swayam Suradi. It will appear by its own. And yesterday also, Moni Prabhu was mentioning that we cannot force Krishna by its own. Yes, we can only do service attitude that will attract Krishna. So yes, by its own. That's why when you chant, it's like it's also one of the things of waiting. You know, Priyam Priyeva Vishtam Vishenna. He's saying like a lover is waiting for her husband. Oh, he will come. So this is also a form of when you're chanting. One day. Yeah. Yes, last question.
I want to add something to that. I was listening to a lecture
Commentary.
and speaker was answering the same question. Beautiful example. I mean, I don't know if it's beautiful, but he said when a child is, young, like in 7th grade or 8th grade, he hates the opposite gender. But then when he grows up, 17, 18 years old, you don't have to teach the, attraction. It comes naturally because of maturity and everything. So like that, when you chant, when time is right, you don't have to do anything. You don't have to force anything. The Naam, Roop, the Leela, Bhashan, everything will appear by its own.
Yeah.
Like that. So
Srila Bhakti Swami Maharaj? I heard this from him. Yes, very beautiful example. Yeah, maturity. Yes, you'll get mature.
I would like to, this is my reflection. section. So you were mentioning that how the cow chews the food again and again, brings it back. So like that we would churn. It reminded me of a verse from Bhagavatam, which says that enjoying material sense gratification is like chewing the chew.
Charita Charunam, yeah.
Charita Charunam, yeah, right. But in spiritual life, like contemplating on Bhagavatam, it's different. Every time you chew, every time you read the shlok again, you will get different nectar. Every time new. So it's like opposite nature. Material life, you will not get. Every time you do the same thing, you will lose the taste.
Yeah.
The taste will decrease. But in spiritual life, if you do the same thing again and again, taste will increase.
Anandam Buddhivardhanam Pratipadam Yep. Every time it's increasing. And it's 15.1 in Bhagavad Gita. Urdhava Moolam Adha Shakam. It's like
Upside down banyan trees.
100 out of 100. Yes.
I have a reflection to share. I don't know who, maybe this will be helpful to anyone or maybe it's just for me. But you shared it in the beginning very beautifully, like how it's an opportunity to show our gratitude when we are giving these classes. So I feel like everybody has their own relationship with Krishna. And whenever they are giving classes, you can see that, whenever you are giving classes, you are quoting slokas. It shows like how you like Krishna's instructions, like how you like to talk with Krishna and like giving slokas. Like how I remember you gave class on Wednesday and she was quoting her Maharaj. So that shows like her relationship with Maharaj is like Krishna is through through her Maharaj. Whenever you are giving class, Damayanti Prabhu, she is quoting like Goswamis, like so that shows like our relationship with Krishna, how we are forming the relationship with Krishna. So it's just about like telling how our relationship with Krishna is when we are giving class. So if you just keep that in mind, then I feel like that will be a lot easy for us to give class. And everybody has their own relationship. So
yeah. Yes, last.
The cow example that you gave, how the cow first eats, and how it's half digested. She brings it back up and she chews it very nicely. I feel like that similar things happen when you hear or read that you realize half the knowledge. And you think that, okay, these are my takeaways. But then you go about your day, you think about it, you meditate upon it, and then you realize more and more. So it's like, even after the activity is done, you keep relishing that activity. So that's why hearing and reading is very important.
Yes. Bhagavatam in first canto, glorifying Bhagavatam, everybody should read at least the first canto. And they're saying like, they're using the word like cream or swadu, pade, pade. Oh, it's very sweet, very tasty in Srimad Bhagavatam. So yes, Hare Krishna. Thank you so much.